What's up, Samurai? We are back in Trove, taking a little bit of a break from our usual PTS stuff, talking about the new update and junk like that for your boy Luxion. Now, as usual with these Luxion videos, I'm gonna kind of clue you guys in on, little updates with the channel and stuff that's going on with me personally after we end up going through his inventory. Just so you guys know, I'm trying to get in the habit of letting you guys know about all that. Also, I did want to mention briefly that I do have a video recorded of all of these costumes. I'll probably end up putting that one out tomorrow, just because this is also going to end up being a timely thing. And then more than likely after that on Sunday would end up being the next video that focuses on the test server stuff, which is going to be the two different professions and so on and so forth. But, we already got like the patch notes video and everything out, so you guys can tune into that if you haven't already. Let's see what Luxion's got. Yeah, it's not bad. It's rare stuff, even if not necessarily really cool stuff, right? So we've got the Lively Launcher wings, which, these are old event wings that are basically like non-existent in the game anymore. So yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna end up being a pretty hefty sum. They're also 200 dragon coins, so I don't know if they're necessarily worth it in terms of their price. But if we do the pose, you can see it's just gonna end up being some confetti wings. We should have the Pinata event where these wings came from in a month or two, because I think it's around the New Year's event, if I'm not mistaken. But we're supposed to be having the let me double check my calendar. Yeah, we're supposed to be having the Thanksgiving event next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, on the 14th, right? I could be mistaken on that, but I'll probably have another video that's gonna highlight some of that stuff, maybe, because they actually put out a Trove newsletter, which is the first that I can ever recall happening, where they kind of talked about like the state of the game and stuff like that. So anyways, we've also got the Starry Shmeep. This was a free-to-play item as far as I know. So this is also a million flux, but it's half the price of the Lively Launcher wings. I've always hated this mount. The whole dual thing, like, it just, I don't know, it doesn't really work with me, especially when it looks like it was duct taped together. But again, you could grab it just for the sake of it. It does have unique VFX on this side, unique VFX on this side, and kind of has like a little Trove sun right there. I would have preferred to have two individuals, one of the sun, one of the darkness, rather than duct taping them both together. It's just kind of weird to me. But anyways, we've also got Meowmalade. So Meowmalade, oh god, I don't even remember where this is from, but it being 100 dragon coins, yeah, it's still going to end up being quite an expensive item, albeit very, very plain. Not really, like, I don't know who's waiting for this mount. Frankly speaking, you just get mounts for mastery nowadays anyways, so it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But I mean, it is still going to end up being from an old event, and this one especially is just so like ugly that we're probably not going to see it return anytime soon. This one, however, the Rainbow Squirrel. Now I remember this guy. Or do I remember this guy? Maybe I don't. So he's another 100 dragon coins. Yeah, he's actually going to be up in price because of how cool he is. So the funny thing is, it didn't actually say that it had flight speed. Oh, does it not fly? Okay, so I'm mixing that up with a different squirrel mount. There's the flying squirrel mount and stuff like that that have the same animation as this guy, but they could actually glide. So I don't know. I thought this one was going to end up being the gliding squirrel, but I guess I'm mistaken. So either way, I mean, this one, it obviously has like a much neater like animation and stuff, and just altogether is a cooler mount, if you could even say that. I don't know. I mean, pick your poison, right? So then there's gonna be the Restorative Emblem. So this is useless. Don't even bother getting this. It temporarily boosts your health regeneration. I don't know by how much. You might want to get it out of Luxion just because of the fact that it's rare. You can see it's a decent enough price on the market, but it's not really going to end up being an emblem anybody will ever end up using. However, health regen is kind of being utilized a lot with the mysticism buffs, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was the martial arts buffs that are on the test server right now. So with that, it makes me wonder if we're gonna get a secret buff to health regen, because obviously this is something talked about years and years and years ago, where they slowly removed health regen from gem stats because they were planning to end up making the stat a lot better in the future. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that the next update is going to help boost health regen as a stat. I don't think it's going to. But then it makes me question why they even have health regen as like the new profession buffs. It's just, anyways, you might want to get this just because, who knows, better safe than sorry. And then there's going to be the Luxion equipment style stash. So these bad boys are very, very expensive. And unfortunately, I do have to get them all because they are going to end up giving you old event items like styles that you haven't already unlocked, and apparently I am missing quite a few of them, including some pumpkins and stuff like that. So it'll end up giving you event styles, seasonal styles, pinata styles and stuff. Doesn't really give that much mastery, but at the end of the day, it does end up giving you like a bunch of different stuff. So there's like this helmet style that covers my head and so on and so forth. And then there's gonna be the Streamer Dream Box. So this is the first Streamer Dream Box. There are 3 Mario, Luigi, Mario. 3 different Streamer Dream Boxes. Why am I missing so many rare? Oh, because these are the ones from the merchant that I've yet to see. That's right. So there's 3 different Streamer Dream Boxes. This is a part of the first Streamer Dream Box, which has the Playful Scytheling. So that's my ally that they ended up making years and years ago. A couple of these other ones I recognize, but nowadays I don't know if any of these content creators are still even playing Trove, because for some reason they keep making streamer allies, and it's related to Twitch, not necessarily YouTube. So it's strange, like the fact that we never got a Faffy ally or whatever, or Wahoo Gaming, as anyone who saw the recent newsletter post knows what I'm talking about. Anyways, then there's going to end up being the Golden Hoard Dragon Soul, which of course is going to end up giving you a whole bunch of mastery out of this right here. So it's going to end up giving you these various items. You can pause the video to see them if you want. It's going to end up being like hat styles, auras, and stuff like that. But ultimately we'll end up giving you many different forms of the dragon. So I'm going to kind of go through these. This is the cookie cutter dragon. This is the dragon that can fly, but it doesn't have the horns and it doesn't shoot fireballs. And then finally, last but not least, you'll have the maxed out dragon, which will glide and shoot fireballs. And, it's got Flux V effects and stuff like that. So, hey, cool. Does this guy have anything new? No, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, and that's pretty much going to end up doing it. So lastly, I wanted to just kind of clue you guys in on stuff that's going on with me personally. So I mentioned this a couple videos ago, but I don't know what the heck happened. I must have thrown my neck out. It doesn't happen often. It's probably been a few years since the last time that's happened. Like, I always have neck problems, probably just because of how I sleep. I know that seems boring to you guys, but this is like really, really bad. Like, even right now, I'm in a lot of considerable pain, and that's been kind of impacting my recording schedule lately. Now, speaking of my recording schedule, we've got some exciting stuff coming up soon. Not only do we have the new Trove event coming, and then we've also got the new patch for Trove coming, which seems lackluster, but it'll at least give me something worth grinding. But on top of all of that, there is a couple different games coming out next week. We've got Assassin's Creed VR, which Ubisoft did throw me a code to that game, so I'll actually be able to cover it on the channel, which, hey, I'm always down to do a VR series. And then most importantly of all, next week, next Friday, Mario RPG Remake, which, if you guys didn't already check out my video, I'll put a card in the top right. You can see it. I literally cried just because of how excited I was at the fact that they remade that game, because that is like one of my all-time favorites. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I keep racking my brain, though, and wondering, okay, should I just do it as a live stream series? Should I do it as a recorded series? Or should I do a hybrid of the two, where I live stream it, but then I split the live stream into multiple videos? So, this is just because I want to be full transparent with you guys. And I figured that the Luxion videos are as good a time as ever to kind of update you guys on these things. So I'm leaning towards just doing a live stream series. And we'll also talk about multi-streaming briefly today as well. basically what I like, I don't want to record Mario RPG because it being an RPG means it's very grindy, which means that there's a lot of dead moments, which I would have a lot of difficulty trying to find something to actually like meaningfully talk about with you guys. And so a live stream alleviates a lot of that because I get to banter back and forth with you guys. And even if I go dead silent, it's like, well, we're streaming. So it's, you know, it's a different vibe, right? Then I thought, well, you know, not everybody has like hours and hours of time on their hands to watch through these playthroughs that are live streams. And then on top of it, it being one of my favorite games, I don't necessarily want to speed run through it as quick as possible, but I would probably end up streaming multiple hours each session just because I wouldn't be able to put it down, right? So I kind of was leaning towards, okay, well, what if I end up live streaming it, but then I cut it into shorter videos and then I leave the live stream as a VOD for members? But that doesn't really work for me either, because otherwise we might end up having a Mario Wonder situation on our hands where the series slowly loses its steam and popularity because of the fact that it lasts such a significant amount of time on the channel. The final episode will end up going up today, by the way. And people just kind of lose interest. This is just how YouTube is right now, unfortunately. I know that I'll end up generating views on Mario Wonder slowly over time afterwards, but as of right now, that series took like a couple weeks to finish on the channel. And I'm thinking that with Mario RPG, I'm just gonna enjoy it and I'm not gonna worry about like how to present the content. And the most enjoyable way for me to do that would be live streaming. Now, speaking of multi-streaming, because so many of you keep talking about, oh, why aren't you multi-streaming? Now platforms finally let you multi-stream. So I wanted to give a brief history of how multi-streaming has been in the past. So as a content creator, it seems like a no-brainer that streaming on multiple platforms is going to be the most beneficial for me, because that means the most exposure on the internet, right? And that ultimately means more people would potentially come back to the channel, which means that my channel would possibly grow. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that that's going to happen with multi-streaming, but I'm just saying that that's kind of the ideal for streaming on multiple platforms. But these stupid bigwig corporations like YouTube, Twitch, and whatever else, basically they have it in their clause that you are not allowed to stream on multiple platforms so long as you're earning money on one of their platforms, right? So it's kind of stupid and doesn't make any sense, because I would feel like getting exposure from all the other websites would also, you know, honestly, that would be better for my channel on YouTube in the first place. And it would open up more avenues overall for YouTube to make more money off of me in the long run, right? So anyways, long story short, they finally allow us to multi-stream now, but unfortunately, multi-streaming doesn't really have any convenient way of doing it at the moment. The software is not conducive to streaming on multiple platforms. And the only thing that I used up to this point was an external website that was called Restream, right? You guys a couple years ago might have heard of it, where I was using it to stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. They have since turned into a scumbag company where they charge money and a subscription fee in order to use their services. And even then their services suck. Like, you're gonna have to spend like $16 a month, which is more expensive than Netflix. So why the heck would I do it? And then you can stream on multiple platforms, but you can only stream at a limited bit rate. Like, it's like when you're trying to rent a Minecraft server, you know how overpriced those can be on those public websites? Like, it's not worth it, considering the little return that you get from it, right? So the other alternative is there is a plugin that I have on OBS that I had rigorously tested a couple weeks back, and I was able to successfully get it so that I could stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick all at the same time, all at different bit rates, because streaming at different bit rates is one of the most important things, because on YouTube, I stream at 2K. I can't do that on Twitch. I'm not allowed to, because they have a very limited amount of bitrate that they allow you to upload and stream at. So I needed the option of being able to adjust all of that. So about a week or two ago, I was like, all right, I'm ready. And I started streaming, and for whatever reason, I set the plugin up. I got it all, you know, I set it up so that it, you know, was supposed to be streaming to both Kick and Twitch. It wasn't doing it. I don't know why Twitch and Kick weren't receiving my you know, my bitrate or anything like that. Only YouTube was. So it's been an arduous process of me trying to figure it out. I'm just saying that I do want to multi-stream. It's just unfortunately, because of so many years of it not being allowed, we don't have high-end software that allows you to stream to multiple platforms very easily. Everything is set up to stream to one platform, and that's about it. So unfortunately, that's just where we're at right now. I keep testing it and I keep trying it out, but I keep running into issues where it just isn't receiving the signal from Twitch or Kick, and I don't know why for the life of me. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. I just wanted to let you guys know about all that stuff because these are things that I casually talked about during some live streams more recently. And I feel like with the Luxion videos, this way I can kind of briefly talk about it without you having to siphon through like an hour-long video of me just randomly picking topics and subjects. Now, as far as today's agenda is concerned, I do plan on streaming some other games today. Wayfinder is one of them. Wayfinder finally got a significant patch where they're actually boosting the amount of XP that you get, which was one of the big reasons why so many people just weren't interested in the game, is because the XP was just really terrible. But on top of that, I would love to stream some Mario Kart with you guys if I can, because of another video you may have seen me post the other day where we can basically I can host a game and have you guys join without having to add my friend code or anything like that. But anyways, that's it for me. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want to support the channel, and have a wonderful day, everybody.